on Who Moved My Cheese. Let me take a quick sip of coffee real quick. Man, it's a beautiful day, guys. I feel amazing. Check out my sweater. Teach, hustle, inspire. It's a black-owned company of educators. Go find them. I'll put the link where you can get this sweater inside of my feed. But guys, real quick, here we are again reading because leaders are readers. Um, the book we're going through right now is Who Moved My Cheese by Kenneth Blanchard. He has a lot of amazing books. One of the most famous books he has is The 1 Minute Millionaire. You want to definitely pick that up. Hold on before we have a tragic accident here. All right, here's what we're going to do, guys. Usually, when I go through these books, these are simply reviews. Again, my confession is I made a commitment to do two things this year. And one, I want to create a lot of videos and content to leave a video library for my children and whoever else can come back 20, 100 years from now and understand what it is that Benjamin McCray was thinking and doing. I think that's powerful. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, he's been gone forever, but I can always go to YouTube and pull him up. I think that's powerful. That's an amazing thing. Another thing is inspiring and encouraging people to read again. We stopped reading. Did you know statistics show that the average person never reads another book once they graduate out of high school? If you want to hide something from individuals, you put it in books because they don't read. And many of the answers you're looking for is found in books. So what I usually do is I pick out a book. We did a few books. Think and Grow Rich. We did what was the other one we did? Business School by Robert Kiyosaki. This one is Who Moved My Cheese? But this is a different book. It's unique. What I usually do is break this thing into little videos, which by the chapters, but when I was reading this book, it has no chapters. It just flows right through. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm just gonna go through it. I'm gonna do a complete review, give my input based on the notes that the Scurry made, and then we'll go from there. We'll wrap this up all in one tape. All right. So it might be a little bit longer than I usually try to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it within that 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. All right, so guys, it's very valuable content. Stick with me here, but definitely go and get the book. So one of the key things in here speaks of the gathering in Chicago, where a bunch of high school students came together, and they was talking about how when they came to the class reunion, the bottom line of the conversation was how things turned out a little bit different than what they anticipated. You had the high school football jock who was all American. You had the studious, most likely to succeed individual, and their lives was a little way different than what they thought it was going to be. And during the time of this, apparently they were in the middle of changes in workforces, which is what we're in right now. And the gentleman, the football athlete said, I was afraid of all the changes that was taking place. And the young lady said, I would have imagined you being afraid. He said, I was afraid until I heard and read a story that changed my perspective. And the story was called Who Moved My Cheese? And basically, this is where I'm going to get into it, where in this story, you have four characters who ran through a maze looking for cheese. And as we stated in a prior video, if you didn't read that or watch that, make sure you go back. But they're saying cheese is a metaphor for what individuals desire, whether it's good health, money, relationships, a big house, a big car, whatever it may be, influence. That is what cheese is. And who moved my cheese? Cheese is always moving. So it says, once long ago in a land of far, far away, there lived four little characters who ran through a maze looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. Two of them were Sniff and Scurry. They were mice. And the other two were little people, being who were as small as mice, but who looked and act a lot like people. Their names were Hem and Haw. Due to their small size, it would be easy not to notice that the four of them were what the four of them were doing. But if you were looking close enough, you could discover the most amazing things. All right. Every day, the mice and the little people went through the maze looking for their own special cheese. The mice sniff and scurry, possessing only simple rodent brains but good instincts, search for the hard, nibbling cheese like they like and mice often do. The little people, him and Hall, used their brains filled with many beliefs and emotions to search for a very different kind of cheese with a capital C, which they believe would make them feel happy and successful. So bottom line is, in this story, and you got to get this book. This is the thing that's amazing. I think it was 2028 when that whole meltdown was taking place. People were getting fired left and right. This was crazy. This book came out around that time, and CEOs, entrepreneurs were giving this book away to their employees and then firing them, giving them, hey, the cheese is moved. Here's a book. Read this. Good luck. That's crazy. But let me jump into this, guys. So basically, the whole story is, what is his name? Him and Haw and Sniff and Scurry are running through the maze looking for their cheese, running through life looking for that satisfaction and gratification. So they run into cheese station C. In that cheese station, there was the most amazing abundance of cheese. So while they got there, they were excited. They was running through life, running through the maze. They ran into station C that had all kinds of cheese in there. They had the hard cheese, the capital C cheese, and they were elated. But here's the difference. Him and Haw got excited. They got content. They took off their running shoes. They laid them up on the wall. They started hanging up pictures. They got permanently fixed in their space as if their cheese would never move. But Sniff and Scurry, every single day they got up and went to the cheese station to get some cheese. Whenever they showed up, they sniffed and scurried and evaluated the environment to make sure everything was secure. They never took off their running shoes. This is the story. I'm ad-libbing here. All right. So one of the key things is first phrase, having cheese makes you happy. So they were happy. I got a good job. I got a big house. I got a successful business. I'm making a lot of money. Things are good. But something took place. While they was getting up in the morning, going back and forth to their station, all of a sudden, Sniff and Scurry noticed that things were changing. The cheese was dwindling down. Understand this. But here's the thing. Once they realized the cheese was dwindling down, they started running around. They started looking for other opportunities, looking for more cheese before the cheese ran out. Here's your first clue. They were looking for cheese because they saw that it was dwindling down. They evaluated the environment. Okay, they evaluated the environment. Every day they showed up, they saw what was happening. This is what we all should do in business, in life, at our jobs. Look around, see what the environment is. If the environment is changing and you're not willing to change, you'll come up short. Here's the next thing, main point. The more important your cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it. Think about that. So what happened was the cheese was running out. Sniff and Scurry started looking and running through the maze, seeing if they could find more cheese before it ran out. While him and Hall, they got up in the morning all late. They started prancing in like, yo, we're good. They got their pictures on the wall. This is my permanent fixture. Change will never take place. And they just stayed there until one morning they woke up and the cheese was gone. They were like, and I like the video of it, cheese. And of course, him and Hall, They were upset about the whole situation. Who moved my cheese? It's not fair that my cheese is gone. They were in there complaining and moaning and hemming and hawing, complaining and moaning and hemming and hawing. They felt entitled. How many of us know folks who have the entitlement syndrome? And they were just sitting there. Meanwhile, they realized that Sniff and Scurry didn't show up that morning because they were gone. They realized that this station is over. We have exhausted the opportunity. We have exhausted the resources. That's why I always tell people when I'm doing presentations, I say, listen, when you're looking for an opportunity, don't wait until you need money. Set up another stream of income, another stream of cheese. Oh, I just realized I got on my yellow sweater. Who moved my cheese? I promise you that wasn't designed. But find more cheese before you need more cheese. Understand this. So it says here, if you do not change, you can become extinct. If you do not change, if you don't adapt, when you realize that things are changing and things are changing, since the pandemic, nothing is the same anymore. So if you don't adapt to the change, you can become extinct. So what would you do if you weren't afraid? Most people are not willing to let go of their reality. You know, they found Cheese Station, see, it did them well all their life. They've made some incredible income. They have some incredible stories. You know, they got the trophies and the plaques and everything, all the accolades, but things have changed. They're stagnant. They're either falling back, they're stagnant, and they're not evaluating the environment, and they're not willing to get into the maze because of uncertainty. It's scary in the maze. I got to do it all over again. Oh my, what if I fail? And of course, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Guys, fear is false evidence appearing real. If you don't get out into the maze, you will become extinct. If you're not willing to go forward, you will become extinct. Here's the next point. It says, smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Ooh. Smell the cheese often so you'll know when it's getting old. Guys, the reality is in this society we live in, things shift often. What's exciting and the opportunity of today can be obsolete and irrelevant tomorrow. It's just what it is. So whenever you're looking for an opportunity, one of the key things you want to do is find something that's not a fad, something that's trendy, but find something that's going to be here today, here tomorrow, and on and into the future. Okay. So when you're talking about opportunity and things of that nature, smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting funky. I'm sorry, when it's getting old. Okay. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. Oh, that's good. Movement. Get out from so when you find yourself stagnant, when you find yourself going backwards, I always say this. I say, there's no such thing as sitting still. There's no such thing as sitting still. The earth is always moving. Motion is always taking place. Either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. You're never staying still. Either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. So one of the things here is points out movement in a new direction helps you to find new cheese. Movement in a new direction helps you find new opportunities, but you got to be willing to move in another direction. I talk to people all the time. It's so amazing, who's been stuck in the same position, no growth, no enhancements, no satisfaction, just there. And they're not willing to move in a new direction because they're content or comfortable being where they are, getting their little pieces of cheese, nibbling off of whatever they can, because and not realizing that there's so much more cheese out there. But you got to be willing to move in a new direction in order to find new cheese. When you move beyond your fear, you'll feel free. Oh, I ain't making this up. I love this. Once Hall, either it was him or Hall, so him and Hall was sitting there for one day. They were mad, they were upset. I'm beyond my 15. Stick with me, I'm wrapping it up. And eventually, I'm gonna say Hall said, "Listen, let's go out and find more cheese." And him said, "Oh, absolutely not. I'm not going out there." But eventually, Hall went out and just went beyond his fear. And while he was moving beyond his fear, he realized that when you move beyond your fear, you feel free. And while he was going through the maze, it was scary, but he kept pushing forward. Then he started finding little nuggets of cheese, little pieces of money, little pieces of whatever gratification you're talking about. What is your metaphor of cheese? He started getting that, and he just kept moving forward, kept moving forward. And then he says, imagining myself enjoying new cheese even before I find it leads me to it. This is Hall inside the maze. He's saying while he's walking and talking, he's like, he visualized and see himself getting more and bigger and better cheese. So he's going through the process. He's talking to himself. He sees it before he gets it. Imagining myself enjoying new cheese. I need you to have the imagination and see where you're going, which is absolutely huge. Here's another one. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. Did you hear me? The quicker you let go of old cheese, once you realize this cheese is stale, this is not going to get me to where I want to be. You got to be willing to let go. And understand what Sniff and Scurry did. They didn't let it go. While they realized that they were stagnant, or while they saw this depreciating, they started out into the maze before it ran out. So right now you might be in a position where you're doing okay, but you know you could do so much better. But this station C, where you are right now, is not going to truly get you to where you want to go. So what you want to do is move your way out accordingly. You don't have to give up what you have, but eventually find something else. And the quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you'll find new. But you can't hold on to both. You can't hold on to both. Understand this. Here's another one. It is safer to search in the maze than remain in cheeseless situations. Woo, woo. Hey, this talks to me, and it talks to a lot of people I know. It is safer to search in the maze. It is safer to get in motion. It is safer to get uncomfortable and pursue your new cheese than to sit in a situation where you're stagnant and you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Oh man, guys, this is huge. I love this book. Old beliefs do not lead to new cheese. Let go of your old beliefs, your old philosophies. I mean, I'm a correction. There are some beliefs that will help you to get to the next level, but there's some other beliefs that's stopping many people from moving to the next level that has been instilled in us. That's saying you will never be rich, you will never have success, you will never find your loved one, or get married, or whatever it may be. All right, here we go. When you see that you can find and enjoy new cheese, you change course. Guys, I need you to understand. You may have an amazing opportunity. You may have an amazing opportunity, but if it has plateaued and there's no room for growth, this is what I'm doing here. Chances are you might need to look for another opportunity. Chances are you might need to get out of this situation that's not helping you to grow to your fullest potential. When you see that you can find and enjoy new cheese, you change course. All right, we're wrapping this up, guys. We're wrapping this up. This is my longest video, but hopefully you're getting content out of this. Notice small changes early to help you to adapt to the bigger changes that are to come. Guys, notice what's going on at your workplace right now. Are they giving you overtime? No. Are they letting people go? Yes. So you need to realize the writing that's on the wall. Realize what's happening in your cheese station number C. And before you get that pink slip, you need to be moving. Look for another opportunity. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. I want to stay within that. So here's the handwriting that Hall put out there. I'm gonna read through it. Change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Always anticipate change. One thing that's inevitable is change. Change is constant. Monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is going old. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Change, move with the cheese, enjoy the change, savor the adventure, and enjoy the taste of all the new cheese. And be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again and again. They keep moving the cheese. Guys, the cheese is always moving. People change jobs often. People change opportunities often. And unfortunately, in my industry of network marketing, people frown upon people who move beyond the opportunity that they're in. What I need you to understand is everyone's cheese is different. And if a person needs to find the cheese that they want and love, and they move on to another opportunity, there's no judgment. Understand that. But some people need to move to another opportunity, but they're stuck and emotionally attached to the cheese that they have, but yet they're not growing, and the people around them are not growing. And that's very important. Understand, not just you making money, but how many new people are we helping to make more money? And that's where you got to make sure we're in an inside of an environment, a cheese station C or beyond, that can help individuals get their cheese. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this book. I'm going to find the next book that I want to read. This is a book that I picked up. I'm excited about it, actually. It's Mojo. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a read on this. How to get it, how to keep it, and how to get it back if you lose it. Let's keep it 100. Sometimes we lose that mojo, or we feel like we lost that mojo. I'm going to read this. I'm going to let you know if I'm going to this is one of the books I'm reading. But if you would like and share this video, make a comment inside this video. Let me know what books that you would like for me to review and share on this feed. Guys, I thank you so very much. I apologize for the extended video, but hey, I wanted to get that out the way. I didn't want to break this book up. Who Moved My Cheese? I need you to go get your copy. Comment below. Let me know when you get your copy as well. Thank you so very much, guys. Take charge. God bless. Let's go and grow.